Hey guys, I'm gonna do a commentary video for all my games that well, not all my games, but only 3 of my games that I had for the Swiss. So I played against 3 different decks, and I'm gonna do 3 different commentary. One of them is gonna be against Lightsworns, which is this round here. And then I'm gonna be playing against Hero Beat, and then Disaster Dragons or Hopeless Dragon, one of those two. It's basically the Trap Dragon deck. I'll show you guys pretty much do the commentary video right now. Okay, so I win the die roll here, and I go first. And pretty much with gadgets, you pretty much do the most rinse and repeat kind of play, where you normal summon a gadget and you search for another monster, and then pretty much start off the game. So right off the bat, I'm getting a red gadget. That's going to search me a yellow gadget, and most likely going to be setting 2 cards here. So pretty standard gadget play. I know you guys don't see enough of those in Edison, so you guys get to see what a +1 looks like. OG. Okay, so I think I set 2 here. I do set 2, yep. I have a Smashing Ground in my hand, so if he does summon a monster that is too large for me to run over, I will always have a red gadget to run it over. Lightstorm player takes his turn now. I'm going to put this on 2 times speed. He's going to activate the Heavy Storm right away. I'm going to flip the Starlight Road to get a Stardust here. I choose not to bring out the Stardust because I do have a Solidarity in my deck. 3 Solidarities in my deck. Sometimes when it is this early in the game, I don't know whether my opponent's playing Deep Prisons in their deck. So I want to be able to not bring out the Stardust because I don't know what I'm playing against. So I don't bring the Stardust out here because of Solidarity. He's going to activate this card structure here, which is like a curveball for me because I didn't know Lightsworn's dupe can play this card. But it works if you do have cards like Wolf in your hand and Necrogardna, and those cards are cards you don't want in your hand. So what you want to do is discard all of them and then draw different cards. If you discard a Necrogardner off of this, it's really good for you because what happens is the Necrogardna generates you a +1 anyways by removing itself by negating attack. So he's going to be drawing the cards here, and then he draws three new cards, activates the Gold Sark here, and he has a JD in the graveyard, so he's probably going to banish a Charge Light Brigade, but he's going to go for the JD here, which is kind of strange to me, so maybe he wants to hopefully top deck into a Charge Light Brigade here. He's going to normal summon a Gale, so I guess he's going to be on the Gale. He's going to attack over my red gadget, and I'm going to take, what is it, 650? Yeah, I'm going to take 650, bringing me to 7350. Okay. Pretty good start so far for me because all he really did was ran over my gadget. Gale is really easy to run over, especially if I do have a green gadget, which I do. I did have the yellow gadget, so maybe he was playing around the fact that I might have don't have a green gadget to run over the Gale. So I waste the Book of Moon here, which is good. I activate the Smashing Ground so he doesn't summon a level 4 monster and Black Rose me. Okay, so he's going to activate the Foolish here, and he's going to most likely going to dump the Wolf and special summon the Wolf. I'm going to bottomless the Wolf, taking out a name out of his graveyard, so he can't special summon JD with 4 names. It looks like he only has 1 monster, Lightsworn monster in the graveyard. I'm going to flip the green gadget since he was unable to deal with it. He's going to set a monster. I'm going to special summon the Fortress here. I attack with Fortress to think it's a hamster, and the reason why I attack Fortress like that first is because I want him to bring out the Raikou, and then most likely I'm going to be able to attack with the Gear Frame into the Raikou, and then he's going to force to use the Raikou effect on the Fortress. I don't think he has a hand at the moment, but if he did have a hand, then the Fortress will be able to target a card and snipe it out of his hand. So I attack for 18 first because he doesn't have a hand, so I'm pretty much capitalizing here. We do our little subtraction methods. It takes a long time to subtract numbers. I'm going to start doing where I just add up this time. So I equip the Gear Frame to the Fortress. He's going to get the JD. And so if he finds a way to deal with the Fortress by a main deck Cyber Dragon, for example, then I would only lose 2 machine monsters. So he's going to activate the Ladder effect, and he's going to pop the set. I still have gadgets in my hand, so I can just keep normal summoning stuff. I'm going to get the Force. I'm going to unequip. I'm going to attack. And then I'm going to attack for 18 and 25 to end the game here, I believe. He's going to Necrogardna. That's going to negate the attack. I'm going to send a new card. I'm going to use the new Gear Frame to equip to the Fortress. So let's see what he's going to do now. He does have 2 names in the graveyard, so he needs to put 2 more if he wants to be able to special summon JD. And he's going to pass. He's going to end the game by scooping. Okay, so game 2, I'm probably going to side Oppression in because Oppression is really good against Lightsworns. It's also good against Cyber Dragons. So a theory is to be able to side in the Oppressions going 2 and 3 because People are going to side their Cyber Dragons, and you need an out to the Cyber Dragon, especially if it's commonly side decked. Other cards I might side deck is probably going to be cards like so I'm probably going to side deck Soul Release because it's named Lightsworn. So because he has such a high amount of traps and non-Lightsworn monsters such as Gale and other trap cards, then I'm most likely going to side deck cards that disrupt the name because he doesn't have ways to mill very frequently. I'm looking at his side decking. He does have a Book of Moon in his deck, so it looks like he's very much on the whole like traps Lightsworns kind of build, but not really. So I saw his mills too, and his mills were very lackluster. I felt like he didn't have enough Lightsworns, despite the fact that he milled like 7-8 cards that game. So let's see what's gonna happen here for this game. He's going to be going first, so he's going to be able to summon a Lightsworn and mill potentially 2 to 3 cards. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to keep the my game plan is to activate Deep Prison on all of his monsters that attack that are Lightsworns, so that he can't find a way to send into the graveyard. I'm going to be summoning the Gear Frame here to search for the Fortress. The Gear Frame is then going to attack over the monster. I'm going to special summon the Fortress first because I want to attack over the Hamster in case he has it. So yeah. Then he's going to search for the Sangan. He's going to get added to a card trooper. I'm going to attack for 18 here. If he drops the Gores here, that's not a problem because I can just equip the Gear Frame to the Fortress, which I will. And at this point, if he does have the Cyber Dragon, he'll only get a plus 1, I think. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 2 cards, 6. So yeah. He's going to summon the Lila here, and then he's going to break my back row. I think I have a Deep Presence set. Yeah, I do. And so he's not going to be able to declare an attack. He has now 2 names, Lila and a Raikou total. I summon a Gadget here to run over the Lila. Unequip the Gear Frame, I think, yeah. So I'm going to attack with the Green Gadget, attack with the Gear Frame, and then the Fortress in the attack order of Gores. And then I pass turn here with 1 set, I believe. So I'm here, I'm pretty much vulnerable to a Cyber Dragon if he has it. This one back row has to be like a bottomless, I hope. Because if he summons the Cyber Dragon, I'm going to lose a lot of monsters, so he does contact. So this is going to be a really big Cyber Dragon here. It's going to be hitting for 4,000 if I can't find a way to deal with it. He hasn't normal summon yet, so he can definitely do some normal summon plays here. Or set a card if he wants. He's going to normal summon card trooper to do a lot of damage. He's going to mill a Decree, a card destruction, and a Book of Moon. He's going to top deck for Plague here. So it looks like he probably wants to go into an Android or a Catastor. And it looks like it's going to go into an Android. So he's most likely trying to set up a Chaos Sorcerer play. But I do see 2 light monsters. So I guess he goes for this Android so he can get some life points. Yeah. So maybe he goes into an Android because he probably thinks I side Cyber Dragon, which I don't against this matchup. But maybe I do. Actually, I don't. He's going to activate Soul Recharge, discard Raikou. So he's pretty much getting his engine going off. He's going to mill a Wolf, and this is going to be pretty dangerous for me because now he has 6,100 life points, or 6,100 damage. So I'm going to go down to 19. So it looks like my back row wasn't anything to worry about. He's going to gain 600 here, so I'm pretty much on the back foot here against this Lightsworn board. So let's see what I'm going to do here. If I draw a Gear Frame, I can bring back the Fortress to discard the Force, but it looks like I already have the Force. I'm going to normal summon the Gadget here, and then I'm going to attack over the... I think I'm going to attack and crash... No, yeah, I think I crash into the Fortress Dragon, because it's 4,000 attack, and me being only at 1,900 is going to be pretty lethal. So I think I needed a trap to win this game. So I go down to 500 life points, and then I'm going to pop the Fortress here. So I need to find a way to deal with the Android. Otherwise, this is a game for me. Looking by my hand, I don't think I have a back row. So this is a deck where I drew a game where I drew all monsters. So it was really unfortunate for me. Sometimes you'll get those hands where you just draw all monsters and your opponent draws all gas. So this is gonna be one of those games. Okay, so we're gonna go into game 3 now. So now I have to find a way to beat Lightsworns going first. So most likely I'm going to find a way to deal with the Cyber Dragons, and if I don't have a way to deal with Cyber Dragons, it's going to be a pretty hard matchup for me. I think I keep in the I think I side in my Dust Shoot going first, so I take out a card I think, and I side in the Dust Shoot so that I can like see their hand basically. Okay, so I'm gonna draw my 6 cards here, And then most likely I'm going to summon a Gadget here, like normal. And then I'm summoning the red Gadget, get the yellow Gadget. And then I'm going to set 2 cards and pass my turn most likely. I think I drew into a Soul Release, so it's really good for me. Oh, it looks like I said 3. Okay, so it looks like I have a Starlight Road or a Solemn Judgment. And I'm going to be setting 3 to his 1 Heavy Storm. I'm going to flip over the Starlight Road. And I think I special summon the Stardust this time because I do have a way to... yeah, I'm hoping the Stardust would be able to deal with his Lightning Vortex or a Cyber Dragon. Because if he does special summon a Cyber Dragon, that Cyber Dragon's going to be smaller than my Stardust. So he sets a back row here and passes. He attacks with the Jane. I deprison because I don't want his name in the graveyard. I'm going to flip the My Order of the Emperor, which is the card that I've been talking about in my deck profile, which allows me to draw cards, making every gadget that I have a draw 1 on summon. So that's what I want to do with this trap card. It also allows me to negate one of my opponent's monsters that gets normal summon and activates effect, such as Celestia, for example. So if Celestia comes down and mills 4 as a cost, then I want to be able to negate Celestia, and then he has to draw a card as opposed to destroying 2 cards out of my board. Okay, so he's going to be taking a decent amount of damage here since he doesn't have any monsters. He's going to be taking 5,000 damage here, and he's not going to respond with anything, neither Trag nor Gores, nothing. He's going to summon the Card Trooper. He's going to mill 3. He's going to be milling a Gores and a Garoth, so he can run over my red Gadget here for 700. Let's see what happens here. He's going to activate a Foolish Barrel to send the Wolf. I think I have an Oppression here. Yeah, I do. So this is a really good board for me. If he finds a way to deal with the Oppression, I do have the Stardust to negate the MST or a Dust Tornado if it's set. Okay, so I just I get a free +1 off the Foolish Barrel. He's gonna attack over the green Gadget. So it's looking pretty bad for him here because now he has to find a way to bring out a JD under Oppression. He's gonna send another back row. So it might be a decree that he has set. So I'm fully trying to end the game as quickly as possible so that he doesn't flip decree and try to find a way to bring out JD. Now that my red Gadget is in the graveyard, my Solidarity is live, and my Dragon is not in the graveyard, so my gadgets are still pretty big. So my green Gadget is going to be able to attack, and I just end the game. Yep. So that's what I really like about Solidarity in this position, because if I gave him more time, he would be able to flip these decree and then basically destroy me with the JD if he does find a way to bring out 2 more Lightsworns in the graveyard. So it looks like I did side the Soul Release. I side the Dust Shoot because Lightsworns like to keep a big hand until they find a way to kill you. And in this example, he basically had I think he had like 3 cards in hand, so the entire time. So maybe the Dust Shoot was a bad side deck. Who knows? So we're gonna go into the next game here against Hero Beat. All right, so we're gonna be rolling the dice roll, and then I go first because I rolled a 10, he rolled a 9. So really lucky on my part. I'm going to be sending the green Gadget here to search for the red Gadget, and then I think I'm going to be sending 2 here. Yep, so I set 2 here. If he heavy storms me, I think I have a way to out it. If I'm not, then it's whatever because it's a 1-for-1. If he summons a hero afterwards, then I can deal with it. I'm going to flip My Order of the Emperor because in theory, My Order of the Emperor can hit a lot of different cards in this format. So I'll be able to negate the Deep Sea Diva, and he won't be able to bring out a Catastor. So the Diva there is going to be able to be ran over by the green Gadget. So it generates me a +1 here, even though he got to draw a card. So I'm going to summon a red Gadget here. I'm going to search for the yellow Gadget, and then I'm going to attack over the Deep Sea Diva, and then attack directly for 1300. So a pretty good start so far for me. So I'm going to set another back row here because he set more cards to his back row. So, and he didn't activate any of them. So if he wants a heavy storm, it's going to be going to be a 2-for-3. But if he draws into a heavy storm, it's going to be a 3-for-3. So he activates the emergency call. He's going to summon the Stratos here. I'm going to negate the Stratos because I don't want him to have an alias. Even though he might have an alias in hand, I still want to be able to negate his effect because I want to give the possibility that he doesn't have an alias in hand, because that will turn all his Gemini Sparks. That's going to turn on all his Hero Blast, and if he does have Hero Blast set or Gemini Spark set, those cards are going to be dead against this this position because he can't chain any of those cards. So I'm going to activate Smashing here because I can't deal with the Stratos. I want to go for life points. I want to force out all the back rows, and so I'm going to attack for 12 and 14 here, and then I'm going to set another card. Okay, so I have more back rows to deal with his monsters, so I'm feeling pretty safe here. He's going to have to summon an alias. If he does attack, then it must mean that he has a way to deal with it. He's going to activate the Gemini Spark, But instead, I'm going to activate the Book Moon here, and then he's going to, it doesn't look like he have a Gemini Spark, and then now I can summon a green gadget to search for the red gadget, and then my green gadget is going to be able to run over the aliases, 1300 defense, which is really high. And then he's going to activate the Hero Blast here to destroy the green gadget on the declaration of the yellow gadget's attack, and then he's going to get his +1, but those gadgets have already replaced themselves, so I don't mind that he trades with my monsters because it's not that important here. He's going to activate the Torrential here, so he's probably going to bait out the Starlight Road that's been there because I did set a lot of cards. I'm choosing not to special summon the Stardust here because I want my Solidarity live because I'm going to need it to run over the alias here. Okay, so he sets in the back row here. I'm going to summon my my Gear Frame, which is another out to the Fortress. Hopefully he doesn't have a D Prison to deal with this Fortress because I don't think I have a Solidarity in this position. So I'm going to attack over the alias. He's going to activate the Honest. Luckily for me, the Fortress will be able to destroy the alias even though he got destroyed by battle. He's going to activate the Hero Blast to kill my green gadget, and then he's only going to be taking 1400 damage. So yeah, so he's pretty much trying to wall off until he draws a Miracle Fusion. He's going to MSC a set. I'm going to activate the Compulsory to put back my green gadget so that I can special summon my Fortress. I'm going to negate his Deep Sea Diva, so he has a negative tempo. And then if he Heavy Storms me, I'm going to lose my back row. And then he's going to activate Miracle Fusion. So now he has a Fortress. I think he banishes the Deep Sea Diva here because he only has a low enough amount of life points. So I can theoretically summon a Gadget and run over the Diva for game. So lucky for me, I think I draw into a Solidarity here. And I activate the Solidarity, search for green gadget, and then pitch the 2 gadgets for a Fortress. And then my Fortress is going to be a 3300 attack. Good thing I didn't bring out the Stardust because the Stardust would have made this position really hard for me. So yeah. So I make the mistake here due to my inexperience with the deck. I did make this deck on the fly. I generally make decks on the fly because I have a limited amount of time to make decks and I don't have enough time to test them. So I made this deck pretty much on the fly the day of. So I didn't test out all of the theories, but basically I thought that Snowman Eaters would be a better side deck against Hero Beat. So I took out the Solidarities out of this deck so that I could side in the Snowman Eaters because it might be a better side deck. But then I realized after the match that I should have just kept in the Solidarity. Okay, so we're gonna go into game 2 here. Let's find out what happens. Okay, so game 2 is going to start here. I sided in Cyber Dragons just because Cyber Dragon is a monster that can run over Alias. So I don't have to worry about running over certain monsters. So I'm going to set 3 cards here to his 2, so I don't have to worry. I think I set the Snowman Eater, so I think he reads that it's going to be a Snowman Eater, so he's not going to try to attack over it. He's most likely going to try to waste an Alias, a Gemini Spark on the Snowman Eater. Or he just passes here. I'm gonna normal summon the Gear Frame here, and then I do have, it looks like I do have a Starlight Road stat because I'm trying to commit more cards to the back row, and then special summon the Fortress. The Fortress is gonna be able to trade with the Deep Prison, and then I banish the monsters here. Maybe I should side deck Imperial Iron Wall, but with the Imperial Iron Wall, I worry that I can't activate my Deep Prisons, so I pretty much decide not to side the Iron Wall here. The Snowman is going to be able to destroy the Alias here. He's going to MST, blind MST hits the Starlight Road, and then he Heavy Storms, and he also has a Cyber Dragon, I believe, and he's going to Contact Fusion. So really good series of cards that he needed to out my whole board, and also a really lucky MST to hit the Starlight Road. He's going to attack over the Snowman Eater. I'm going to draw a card, so I'm pretty much on top deck mode. He's going to be attacking for 2,000 for every turn until I find a way to deal with it. He's pulling the rugs, my green gadget, so I'm in a really bad position here, and so hopefully I can come back by summoning a Gear Frame and then be able to bring out the Fortress. So the Compulsory is going to be able to deal with the Fortress, and so that he doesn't have a way to do more damage. He finds the Reinforcement of the Army to summon Stratos to search for the Alias, so I'm in a really bad spot now because he got his +1. I summon the green gadget, and at every moment of this game, I'm like kicking myself in the knee that I should have kept the Solidarity in because now I can't find a way to run over the Shadows. So which is why I really like Solidarity against this matchup. So lucky for me, I see the Gear Frame and I search for the Fortress, and then I attack to try to trade with the Stratos. I think I don't know why I didn't search for the Fortress here. the Machina Force to be able to discard to special summon the Gear Frame. So instead I do this play, which is really strange to me. So I should have searched for the Force, unless I sighted it out. I don't think I did. So it should have been a Force because I do have a Fortress in the graveyard. So I think I tunnel visioned this one a little bit too hard. He's going to attack here, and then he's going to Honest, and then I think that's game because he has 2 Honest actually. So that's going to be a total of 19 plus 19. 19 plus 25, so it's what, 43? So yeah, he takes out my Fortress, and then I pretty much lose game 2. So I still don't side in the Solidarities. I'm still pretty much adamant about the Snowman Eaters over the Solidarities. So I pretty much don't side in the Solidarities back in, which I should have. I think I should have. Yeah, I should have came to let go of my stubbornness about Snowman being better, and just put in the Solidarities back in. So, but I mean, I guess he did have the double Honest in his hand. So even if I did have the Solidarity to try to run over the Alias, the Honest would have been able to trade with the Gadgets. Okay, so I started the game here. I summoned the yellow Gadget, search for the green Gadget, and then hopefully he doesn't have much ways to deal with it. I'm going to set 2 here, and let's see what happens. He's going to Heavy Storm again, going second, and then he's going to activate the Reinforcement of the Army, which is a really good card. He's going to summon the Stratos, search for the Alias, to run over the yellow Gadget. So I'm going to take 700 here, going to 7,300 life points, and then he's going to set 2, I believe, or 1. Yeah, he's going to set 2. I'm going to draw for turn here. I'm going to summon a monster, or MST, blind MST, so that he doesn't pull in the rug me. I don't have a way to out the pulling the rug on the Gadget summon. So I'm going to summon the green Gadget, summon the red Gadget. This kind of telegraphs that I don't have a way to deal with the pulling the rug. So I pretty much set 2 here to my back row, keeping one of the traps that I had on going first. And then I think I drew into this new trap here. He's going to summon the Alias and run over my green Gadget. And I'm still kicking myself in the shin here because I don't have a way to deal with the Gadget. Or I don't have a way to deal with the Alias unless I use Smashing Ground, which I did. He's going to activate the Hero Blast to deal with it. So he's getting tons of +1s this here off the Gemini Spark and the Hero Blast. I'm going to normal summon the yellow Gadget. I'm going to summon the yellow Gadget here to summon to search for the green Gadget. And I still don't have a way to deal with the Alias. And I'm just trying to hope that I have a way to deal with it because I don't have the Solidarity in my hand. But theoretically, if I did have the Solidarity, then I would have drawn the Snowman. So I guess it didn't really matter in the end here. So I'm going to draw a green Gadget here to search for the red Gadget. And now I set a back row and I pass. Finding a way to try to deal with the Alias here, and I can't. I'm thinning out my deck, trying to hope that I can find a way to deal with it. Summon red Gadget. Hopefully I can find a way to deal with this Alias that I've been sticking on the board forever. Yeah, so I set another back row, and hopefully I can draw into a Battle Trap and draw into a D Prison. I can't seem to draw into a D Prison or a Mirror Force to save my life. Those back rows seem to be cards that I can't deal with. So I finally draw into a Gear Frame. So if I wanted to be able to discard the Fortress with the Gadgets that I've been summoning every turn, then I can just find a way to deal with the Alias on board. So I'm taking a lot of chip damage from the Alias. I do have to deal with that one back row, so let's see what happens here. If I special summon a Fortress here, then I have to take the possibility of losing my Fortress to a D Prison. He's going to Gemini Spark, which is good because I'd rather have my Fortress be Gemini Spark than to deal with it. He has a set card. It's most likely going to be a Snowman Eater, so I choose not to attack here. There's no monster that Hero Beats likes to set besides Snowman Eater or Fossil Dyna, so there's no point in special summoning or citing Fossil Dyna against this deck because of the Gadgets. He's going to flip over the Snowman Eater, which I predicted would be the monster. He's going to flip over to target the Gear Frame. I think I have the option here torrentially. He's going to activate the Starlight. I'm going to activate the Oppression to negate the Starlight. And then it's going to be a 2 for 3. Okay, so I'm going to set a back row. It looks like I run out of Gadgets because I have been summoning Gadgets after Gadget. I set a back row. Hopefully he doesn't have a monster. He does have another monster. I D-Prison another Honest. I want to keep my Oppression live so he doesn't activate the Miracle Fusion, try to kill me. He draws into most likely a Snowman Eater. So now I have to find a way to deal with a Snowman Eater with Oppression up. So this is going to be really challenging for me. Oppression is really good against Miracle Fusion, but it's really bad against in this position because I don't have a way to deal with even an Alias in attack position. So I'm kind of kicking myself in the chin because if I had the Solidarity in my deck still, I would be able to deal with this board. and then also be able to climb over 1900 attacks with the Solidarity. He's going to set more back rows. I'm going to activate Smashing Ground, hopefully to bait out the Gemini Spark. He doesn't have it. And then I had to find a way to deal with it. I summon a green Gadget, activate my Order of the Emperor to try to draw into a new card. I think I'm pretty thin on my my Gadget count, so I summon a green Gadget, set a back row, pass. So he's going to flip over the Snowmaner to pop the green Gadget, most likely. Not itself. And then he's going to tribute summon for Cyber Dragon, and I'm going to Solemn Judgment the Cyber Dragon. He's going to activate his Solemn Judgment, and then I'm basically going to lose all my monsters here. Okay, so that's my matchup against Hero Beat. It is a very tough matchup still, even if I were to see the Solidarity. I did side out. Let's look at what I sided out. I sided in Oppression, and I sided in Dust Tornadoes and the Snowmaner. So one of the Oppressions that I sided out would have been a Solidarity. So the Solidarity would have been a little bit better. But I still need Oppression against this matchup because people side deck Cyber Dragon against me, and I need to flip the Oppression to kill the Cyber Dragon so they don't contact fusion for like 10. Okay, so we're going to go into the last game here. I'm going to be playing against Disaster Dragons, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm going to be playing against Trap Dragons. So I think he wins the die roll here, and he's going to start off the game and see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't open up Future Fusion because I don't think... well, it looks like it doesn't. So he's going to set 2 back row here. I'm going to summon the Gear Frame here. So it gives me a chance against dragons. And then I'm going to be able to special summon the Fortress if I need to. He's going to de-prison on the attack. So I'm going to special summon I'm going to set a back row and pass. He's going to Dust Tornado at the end phase. Hopefully to draw into a Future Fusion so he can resolve it on the play. He's going to be special summoning 2 dragons for this turn. So he's going to be able to do a lot of different damage. I'm going to take 58 and 3000 here. I think he draws into a Dust Shoot, I believe. So he's going to set the Dust Shoot here. I'm going to draw for turn here. He's going to Dust Shoot. And it looks like I open up with 3 Smashing Grounds, so I'll be able to deal with the monsters here. He thinks the Smashing Ground targets. I say that it doesn't. White Knight Dragon gets destroyed, and Red Dust Darks and Metal Dragon. I'm going to set a back row here to protect myself. I believe the trap card was a Bottomless Trap Hole or a Prison. I'm not sure. He's going to set 2 more cards. I'm going to draw pass until I draw a Gadget. Once I draw a Gadget, then I can pretty much start doing damage because he doesn't have a monster that he can summon. So it looks like he has a low monster count in his deck, so it is a Trap Dragon deck after all. If he did have the Mass Dragon, then that would have been able to do a lot of damage. But the Mass Dragon has to my D-Prison should be able to fend off against the Mass Dragon. And my last Smashing Ground can deal with the Mass Dragon as well. He's going to compulsory the Fortress to try to preserve life points. I'm going to attack for 18. He's going to take it, I believe. And then he's going to go down to 6,200 life points. All right, so that's going to be my first damage. I'm at 2,200 life points. He's going to draw and he's going to set. I'm going to summon another Gear Frame. Hopefully it's to see my Machina Force to be able to discard to special summon the Fortress. Most likely I do have Starlight Road set, so if I do bring out the monster off the Force, the Starlight Road is going to protect against Torrential or a Mirror Force. So I'm pretty much telegraphing that I have a Starlight Road here, or Solemn Judgment. So he's checking his back row. None of those back rows seem to be responsive enough. He's going to activate the Solemn Judgment against my forts. He's going to take 3,200 life points because of the life points that's being half. And then he's going to take 1,800 life points. So he needs to find a monster to deal with the Gear Frame or a trap card to deal with the Gear Frame. If he doesn't, then this game is over. So he's going to activate Heavy Storm. I'm going to activate Starlight Road. I'm going to actually bring out Stardust because he does look like he's on Trap Dragons. So he's going to activate the Bottomless Trap Hole. He's going to activate his Bottomless Trap Hole on Stardust. Actually, this was an illegal play because the last thing that happens, it tries to resolve, is the Heavy Storm, and he actually cannot activate the Bottomless on the Stardust, so I did not catch that until now. Okay, so he's going to special summon the dragon here, and then what happens here? I think I have a Book of Moon and a Deep Prison set. So let's find out what he does here. He's going to special summon a White Knight Dragon. Oh, sorry, it was a compulsory. So I have a compulsory set and a Book of Moon set. And the other card is probably my Order of the Emperor, by Order of the Emperor. So let's see what happens here. If he does not declare an attack, then it means that he fears the Mirror Force. And seeing as he's on top deck mode, it makes sense that he fears the Mirror Force. But I think I would have attacked either way, because he should have been able to end this game. I'm going to compulsory the monster, activate Solidarity, and then finish the game off here. So That's going to be game one. We're going to go into game two here. I'm going to side deck the Royal Oppression to be able to deal with the dragons because Red as Darkest Metal Dragon is really tough to beat. Also, if he does have the Future Fusion and he draws into it after turn one, then my Oppression can deal with the Future Fusion. I can also negate the effect of Red Eyes Wyvern to banish itself from the graveyard and spell summon the Red Eyes Dark Spell Dragon from the graveyard. So Oppression is going to be a really good top deck, or a really good side deck for me. He might side deck the Cyber Dragon 2 to Contact Fusion because dragons have a lot of cards in their extra decks, a lot of extra deck space, and he could theoretically have Chimera Tech Fortress to Contact Fusion me. So Oppression is going to be a really good side deck going into game two. Another good side deck card that might be really useful is going to be Dust Tornadoes, because he does side deck. He does have a lot of traps, so the Dust Tornado is going to be able to clear out his cards in the back row, and also against Future Fusion if he draws into it after turn one. I think that's all I side deck. I think I just side deck the Oppressions and the Dust Tornadoes. So we're gonna go to game two here and see what happens. All right, game three is gonna start here. He's gonna be going first because he lost the first match, or the first game. He's gonna activate Future Fusion, which is a card that I really despise in this format because it's one of those cards that rewards luck rather than skill. He's going to activate the resolve the effect and send off 2 Wyverns and 2 Red as Darkest Metal Dragon and a Primaterial Dragon. So Primaterial Dragon, not really good against gadgets, but it does shut off the Smashing Ground, and it does shut off the Magna Forge, the Fortress effect. But the Deep Prison is going to be able to help me against the Primaterial Dragon, assuming that he attacks with a Primaterial Dragon. So he's going to banish the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon. He's only going to bring out 1 in case I side deck Lightning Vortex to deal with it. I'm gonna normal summon the Gear Frame, hoping to deal with the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon, because if I leave him out there, he's gonna be able to special summon his Primaterial Dragon, and then pretty much attack over my monster. I'm gonna see the set here because I fear a Deep Prison, so I'm gonna attack with the Fortress, crash with the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon, and pop it, and then attack for 18 and pass turn. Okay, so he's gonna be at 6,200 to my 77, and then now he's gonna start his turn now. He puts 1 counter on the Future Fusion to pretty much give the impending doom of the 5-headed dragon. Looks like he does have a Cyber Dragon in his hand by Flash, so he can special summon the Cyber Dragon, Contact Fusion, and then go into the Fortress. Looks like he doesn't bring out the Cyber Dragon. I think he wants to go for more value off the Cyber Dragon, so I'm going to summon the Yellow Gadget here to try to run over the set. If it's a Mass Dragon, I can at least run over his defense of 1100 defense. It is a Mass Dragon. He's going to be special summoning the Totem Dragon because it's the end of the chain, because I don't have any more attacks afterwards. So I'm going to attack over the Totem Dragon so that he gets banished when it leaves the field. He doesn't bring out the Totem Dragon by the looks of it. He's going to special summon the 5-headed dragon. So now he has to find a way to... I had to find a way to deal with this with my back row. Hopefully I do have a Deep Prison to deal with this, or a Mirror Force. So let's see what he does here in this position. So he's going to attack over the yellow. It looks like I didn't have a way to deal with it. So my Deep Prison was not be able to see itself over the 5-headed dragon. If he doesn't normal summon here, he could special summon the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon from his graveyard during the end phase. Looks like he does side deck the System Down, which is a really rare side deck in today's format, but he does have it in the side deck. He's going to be gold starking for it and hopefully be able to shut off the game. I personally don't like System Down against Machina Gadgets anyways, because you have to open up with it, and if you see it in the later games, you might not have the life points to be able to resolve it, because gadgets tend to whittle away at your life points and not have enough life points to kill. Not have enough life points to activate the Machina, not the System Down. So he's going to bring out the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon, and I draw for turn here, and I don't see a way to deal with the 2 big monsters. Maybe I should side deck Lightning Vortex in this position. I'm going to discard 2 gadgets to special summon the Fortress. I'm going to crash the Fortress into the Red as Darkest Metal Dragon, and then I'm going to pop the 5-headed dragon. This position is pretty bad because theoretically I think he can special summon the 5-headed dragon. If not, then he can special summon the Primaterial Dragon. But it's better than having a 5,000 monster out there anyways. So he's going to bring out the Primaterial Dragon, and I'm pretty much on top deck mode. I never want to be in this position. He's going to activate the Brain Control, steal my Gear Frame, and then attack me for game. So a pretty bad game for me. I didn't draw any of my battle traps, which is really unfortunate for me. He took the risk to try to attack, but he needs to do that anyways because he knows he can. The gadgets have the better late game strategy than dragons do. Okay, so we're gonna go in game 3 here. Hopefully, I draw a little better, and this time I'm gonna find a way to side deck more cards to deal with the future fusion. Yeah, and then if I don't let him resolve the future fusion, I should have a better game into this matchup. All right, so game 3 is gonna start here. We're gonna shuffle our decks here, and I'm pretty much gonna decide to go first. I don't want him to go first because I don't want him to draw future fusion and resolve it with me having no ways to interact with it. So I summon the gear frame here, and then add the fortress dragon, and then I think I set 3 here. Okay, so most likely I have either a Starlight Road or a Solemn Judgment, and hopefully a Dust Tornado to deal with the future fusion. And of course, he opens up with the future fusion, and then I luckily had the Solemn Judgment. But now, if he had the heavy storm in this position, he would have been an activated chain, and I have to force use the Solemn Judgment to negate the heavy storm. And then if he had the future fusion, then he would have been able to resolve it. I don't think I have my other 2 sets were ways to deal with the future fusion. I did side deck the Dust Tornadoes, and I didn't draw it. So I summoned the red gadget here, summon and attack, and then he deprisons, which was really surprising to me because I don't think there's a monster that he would want to lose to the gadgets. I couldn't think of one, so I take that with a grain of salt, and I think, okay, well, this is a monster that he doesn't want to lose to a gadget, so I attack with the yellow gadget into a face down, and it was an Exploder Wing Dragon. So yeah, so he lost his Exploder Wing Dragon to a gadget, which is really good for me. So I was able to trade a 1-for-1 with the gadget, but the gadget replaces itself, so it's a +1. The fortress is going to be able to attack in for 2,500 life points, or I think I ran over a Totem Dragon. So he's going to bring out the Totem Dragon here. I think I compulsory here because it has the ability to get banished. So it gets banished by the compulsory. He's going to set a card here. And it's probably most likely going to be it's not a Snowmander. So I attack into a DD Warrior Lady. I contemplate whether I want to attack my fortress into the DD Warrior Lady. And I think I do because I don't want to give him time. And then I set another background in my pass. Looks like I do have a Starlight Road that I drew into. So the Starlight Road is going to be able to fend off against a heavy storm. The Starlight Road is most likely going to be the new set here underneath the green gadget because I set the 2 other cards with the assumption that the Solemn Judgment can block off the heavy storm. My green gadget and my green gadget and my red gadget is going to go in for 2,700 life points. I'm going to Dust Tornado in the end phase, hoping that I can hit a Decree in the event that he sides out all his traps against this matchup. But he does have a Deprison in his graveyard, so most likely he's not going to side the Decree. So I go in for 29, 27, 26, 29. Yeah, it's about like 3,900 life points. So he's going to go down to 1,400 life points, and now he's going to have to find a way to deal with it. He sets another monster here. If it's a Mass Dragon, it's going to be pretty bad for me because now I can't fend off. I mistakenly summoned the green gadget, hoping that there'll be a red gadget in the grave or in the deck, but I forget that I've used up all of them. So I attack over a Mass Dragon with the green gadget, and I think I end my turn with the Smashing Ground because I don't want him to go into his second Totem Dragon so that he can banish for a Red Dark Metal Dragon. Okay, so he's going to draw, and then he's going to activate Heavy Storm. I don't have a Starlight Road. It looks like I just bluffed it the entire time. And then he shows me his hand. He doesn't have a way to follow through with the moves. So good thing I Smashing Ground there, because if he had the Totem Dragon on the second summon, then it would have been really hard for me to, pretty hard for me to deal with the Light and Darkness Dragon, and also a Brain Control play too as well. So he could have stolen one of my gadgets and tribute summon for Light and Darkness Dragon. So yeah, Light and Darkness Dragon would have been my bane. But lucky for me, I did have the Smashing Ground to deal with the Totem Dragon. But that's all the gameplay videos that I'll provide for this one. I did play against 2 Black Wings matchups off camera. One of the Black Wing matchups, I failed to hit the record button, so sorry about that. But Black Wings has a really bad matchup against gadgets because they need to have a steady supply of monsters to deal with the constant +1s. And if they can't deal with the constant +1s, then they pretty much get steamrolled by Black Wings. So yeah, I played against 2 Black Wings matchups, and I actually won against both of them. My only loss into Swiss was the Hero Beat matchup that was featured onto the commentary video. So if you guys want to have a better game plan against Hero Beat, I would suggest side decking Cyber Dragons so they can run over the monsters, and also not side decking Snowmanders. because Snowmander's is it conflicts with the Solidarity. But even though the Snowmander can deal with both Absolute Zero and Alias and the damage step, so they can't Gemini Spark you, they still have the Hero Blast to be able to deal with all your monsters still if the Alias gets destroyed by Snowmander. So yeah, so theoretically Snowmander should not be in the side deck. Going forward, I'm going to side deck Cyber Dragon instead of Snowmander, because at least Cyber Dragon is a machine monster to enable my Solidarity. And against Thunder King Ryo, if people do side deck Thunder King Ryo against this matchup, then the Cyber Dragon would at least force the Thunder King Ryo's effect to negate the Cyber Dragon. And then also Cyber Dragon can go into 2900 attack because if it gets a bump from Solidarity, it's a really large monster that can run over even Stardust Dragon. So that's a really good trade for me. So going forward, side deck Cyber Dragons in your side deck. Even though the people might use your own your own Chimera Tech, you want to be able to at least bring out your Chimera Tech Fortress so that it doesn't get Cyber Dragon away by your own Cyber Dragon. Okay, so that's all the commentary video that I'll provide, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.